No, it's a long-winded way of Abs is saying, I don't believe it's a security. I do believe that the SEC is using this enforcement action form of regulation as a way of slowing down the progress.
In today's video, Mark Yusko, the founder, CEO and CIO of Morgan Creek Capital Management, discussed about the Fed raising interest rates and impact on all markets including crypto, the crypto bear market, and if we've hit the bottom on Bitcoin.
From your perspective, do you think XRP is a security? What's your opinion on that?
I don't agree with the SEC that these assets are securities, because a security to me is an evidence of ownership in the equity of a business. And a utility token is not that, right? It doesn't give you equity, it doesn't give you debt, it doesn't give you a claim on cash flow. So I find it hard to say that's a security. Now, if owning XRP gave me a share of transaction fees, that'd be a little bit different. But this idea that anything that you buy with an expectation of appreciation is a security is utter and complete nonsense. I play a lot of Pokemon Go. My son got me engaged in it. I play a lot, like more than I should. Are my Pokemon Go monsters securities? Because I expect them to increase in value if I could actually sell them, which I can't.
I'll speak for Gensler here and say yes.
Yeah, or my Magic the Gathering cards. I play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and I don't have a Black Lotus, but does the guy who bought the Black Lotus and it went up a lot, is that a security? Are you kidding me? And someone said the other day, said, no, if Beanie Babies came along now, they would be deemed a security based on the Howey test. I'm like, no, they wouldn't. That's just stupid. So no, it's a long-winded way of Abs is saying, I don't believe it's a security. I do believe that the SEC is using this enforcement action form of regulation as a way of slowing down the progress. This is the oldest trick in the book in investing, right? If you want to buy something in size, like if you are Julian Robertson wanting to buy a lot of copper, or George Soros wanting to buy a lot of the pound, you don't go buy it and then tell everybody, I just bought some. Don't you want to be like me? No. You short it and you spread rumors that it's the worst thing you've ever seen and that no one would ever want to buy it. And you crash the price so you can buy more. That is, Elon did that with other things. Everyone who is a big investor has been using this trick forever. And look, I'm unabashed about this. I guarantee you that Operation Choke Point 2.0 is real. Yep. I guarantee you that this is a very large, very well planned, very well executed and orchestrated decision by the club to crash the price and allow them to delay the inevitable replacement of the trust industry with truth. Full stop. It's all a big plan. And my belief, right, is that Sam and Caroline were pawns. They were the useful idiots. They were not the masterminds. They were not the execute. They were pawns, like the Manchurian Candidate, minus the chip, of a very large game by the very, very largest organizations in the world to take control. But here's the thing. You've heard me say, 2009 to 15 was the first they ignore you phase. Bunch of nerds and geeks playing with your magic internet money. 16 to 21, then they laugh at you. Come oh, look at you idiots playing with this stupid stuff, magic internet money, whatever. 2022 to 2027, then they fight you. Y'all took $100 billion out of my bank. That pisses me off, and you're going to pay. And so, $1 billion went into Celsius and Voyager and BlockFi. Who gives a shit? 100 billion? Now we got a problem. You need to be shut down, and you need to be shut down, and you need to be shut down. And so, but here's the thing. If you're here, we've already won. We've already won. That's the cool part. The inevitability of decentralization, the inevitability of crypto, the inevitability of Bitcoin, the inevitability of a decentralized world, it's happening. And they can fight it all they want, but they're going to lose. Now, can they make our life miserable in the short run? Sure. Imagine being a wealthy person on April 5th, 1933. You had a bunch of gold bars in your vault, and you were deemed a criminal. Executive Order 6102, you're a criminal. Johnny, that gold you have, you're a criminal. You got to give it, you got to forfeit your gold to us, or we're going to arrest you. Did Johnny give him all his gold? Hell no. But he did live in fear that someone was going to show up at his door, with a gun even, and take the gold. So that's probably going to happen again. It's kind of happening now, but I think we're in a better place because collectively the communities that we're all part of are more powerful, they're more well distributed, and they're global. The thing about decentralization is it eradicates the notion of nation states and borders. And that's a hard thing to think about. I don't want to move. I like Chapel Hill. But I think, as I told you last time I was on the show, I went on spring break to Costa Rica, not just to go to the rainforest. I wanted to see what it was like. Is it crypto friendly? Is it a rule of law kind of place? And there was a little too much barbed wire for my taste. That made me a little nervous, kind of like being in Joburg. But there were parts of San Jose that were pretty nice. And I have friends down there that say it's pretty nice. So anyway, that's a long ramble. The gold thing is so awesome, right? The gold ETF took 3.5 years to get approved.
Wow.
3.5 years. Why? Because Jamie Dimon said no.
You're right.
Jamie's like, no freaking way are you having a gold ETF until I am fully short.
Exactly.
So I will get fully short. In fact, if you go through the JP Morgan documents from the global financial crisis, they were short 2 times the world's supply of gold. Because the futures market allows you to short paper commodities. That's why when you want to manipulate something, you create a futures market. That's why oil prices are manipulated. It's why gold prices are manipulated. JP Morgan pays $1 billion just about every year for spoofing the gold market.
Fines.
Well, wait a minute. How do they do that? And they don't have to admit they're guilty? They don't have to admit guilt?
Nope.
And they always say, but we made $20 billion, so it's just the cost of doing business, 5%. So what happened was JP Morgan got short. Like, okay, now you can open up the ETF to take the long side of our shorts. And boom, gold goes up. And then everybody jumped in, John Paulson, all these others denominated all their stuff in gold. And then what's happened since? JP Morgan went back to spoofing it. So look, it's not a coincidence that the bear market in 2017 started the day of the creation of the Bitcoin futures ETF. It is not a coincidence that the day of the bear market in 2021 started with the approval of the Bitcoin futures ETF. Those are not coincidences. What those 2 events allowed was JP Morgan and BlackRock and et cetera to go short the shit out of those markets to depress the prices so they could buy. And yes, Larry Fink et al. Said that crypto is used by money launderers and terrorists. Why did they say that? I used to laugh at them. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize they had inside information because they are the ones doing the money laundering, right? The government sends the money to Ukraine. Ukraine sends it to FTX. And here's the crazy thing. It's on chain. Like in the old days, I want to buy off Johnny. I meet him in the park. I bring my backpack. I set it down next to him. I walk away. He's like, Mark, your backpack. And I just keep walking. He looks inside. It's full of money. And Johnny's now my friend.
That's how me and Johnny met, actually.
I mean, that's exactly right. And it's not traceable. If you're going to do money laundering, why would you do it on chain? So Ukraine sends the money to FTX. FTX sends it to Alameda. Alameda sends it to a shell company owned by SBF. And then he sends it to the Democratic Party. Are you freaking kidding me? On chain?
Can't make this stuff up.
You can't make that stuff up. That is money laundering. If you go to the picture of money laundering, that is it. So when Elizabeth Warren talks about it's used by money launderers, I'm like, yeah, by you. And I'm not saying Larry Fink is a money launderer. Well, I might be saying that. But look, he's way more powerful. And I probably shouldn't say that because, see, I think one other time we were doing this, like the Black Hats did come and turn off my power. But I have nothing against these guys. I really don't. And I don't really want to pick a fight with them.
No.
It does bother me, though, that they keep consolidating the wealth at the top, right? We have the highest wealth and income inequality in the history of mankind. And they appease the masses by saying, oh, we're going to give you UBI, or we're going to give you, free handouts. And like, but this is wrong. I mean, it's wrong that a regulatory body waits for a member of the club to want to get in the game and then grants them approval. Now, they haven't been approved yet, but mark my words, they will get approved. And everyone said, well, why is that bad? I'm like, well, technically it's not, because it opens the floodgates for greater adoption, right? The top of the show, or the top line at the top of the page here. And that's good. That is good. The fact is, it won't be evenly distributed. The thing that bothers me most is we don't need more tools for the rich to get richer. We just don't. They're good. What we need is more tools to empower the masses around the world. One of the things that gets me up every day, right? People say, well, why do you do this, right? Just turned 60, and it's not like I love to work, and I don't really have to work. A lot of my friends are retiring. I could retire. I don't want to retire. Retired means tired yesterday, tired again today. No interest in that. But what really gets me out of bed in the morning is, look, 40% of the people in this world don't have a bank account. 40% of the adults on this planet do not have a bank account. We can help them. We can give them financial services through digital assets. And I want to be involved in, as I said, the ABCDs of the digital age: AI, blockchain, chips, and data. And investing in those things is amazing. And it literally is changing the world, and it's changing things for the better. And that's cool, and that's good. And that's why technology and innovation are my lifeblood, right? Innovation is an asset class. It creates all the other things that we all think of as assets: stocks, bonds, currencies, and commodities.